I need to turn my notifications off, actually. All right, we'll give it a few seconds to update everybody, but everybody should be on. So good afternoon, and thank you guys for hopping on today on our team call. We have Rachel Allen on with us, who's going to share some tidbits of information and some good things here in a little bit. I want to cover just a couple things. It's a new month. Everybody can breathe for a couple days, right? But make sure Success Club is in the back of your mind. Make sure that it is a goal and a focus this month to lock it in, as well as rank advancement, whatever you're pushing for this month. Remember, we're going for no. So we're trying to get as many no's as we can, and out of those no's, you're going to have a few yeses. It's just part of it, right? Success Club 5 is your goal. We have a new coach, or not a new coach, a coach-only challenge group going on right now. So make sure you're added in there. Make sure you're posting. Use it as a form of accountability. So whatever you're posting in the Coach Challenge group needs to be posted publicly. That's the purpose of it, is to get us back on track and in these programs and walking the walk so that we're able to preach it and promote it better, because we're doing it ourselves. So make sure you're in that group and make sure you're sticking to it. Freely post questions if you have them in the group, whatever you want to do. It'll be pretty laid back, but I want to see everybody participating daily. 21-Day Fix Everything is on sale this month. Take advantage of that. It's a very popular program that's pretty much good for anybody to do, from beginners to advanced, skilled worker outers. What do you call that? I don't know. So we have 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme are both on sale this month for $140, which is an amazing price. And then we have the Kickstart, 21-Day Fix Kickstart, which includes 3-day refresh, and it's $180. So make sure you're promoting those. Again, lead with that nutrition aspect. That's where most people struggle. So that's usually what gets people in is the dialed-in nutrition and the really the help that they get with the nutrition, and teaching everybody when and how and what to eat really helps a lot of people. So other than that, I don't think I have any other announcement. I mailed Success Club gifts, so you should be getting your goodies. I will be posting our recognition of everything today, so make sure you're on it for June. All right. I will stop yelling and introduce Rachel, who is a 4-star diamond coach. She signed up right around the same time I did, and so we've been able to kind of run together in this journey. And we say that we made Leslie who she is, because we signed up and that's when everything took off. So it's been fun to have a friend, along in this journey with us and walking it out together. So she's consistently hit Success Club. She's one of those people that, like me, jumped in and took off and didn't take no for an answer, and has done amazing. So Rachel, I will let you take over, and I am going to mute myself.
Okay. Hey guys, I hope that everybody has a wonderful week so far, and I'm super excited for June because I think it's going to be a great month. I'm just going to kind of quickly go over my story because I don't know if everybody knows about it or not. I was living in Omaha after we had our 2 kids, and had been going to the gym for like 3 months and didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was spending like an hour and a half in the gym 6 days a week and couldn't lose any weight. So at that point, I was pretty much just like done and over it. So I talked to my husband and I was like, we have this insanity that's just kind of sitting in a box over here. Why don't we break it out and see what happens? And he was like, okay, that's fine. And I was like, I kind of want to try Shakeology, because it says that it's in the meal plan, and, we really want to try to do the meal plan. And he was like, blah, 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 whatever. We'll talk about that later. Well, then while I was down in Nederland, which is where I am now, which is why this is like my childhood bedroom, sorry. But anyway, while I was down in Nederland, I happened across Leslie's post on her like page, and it was pretty much like, join my Insanity Challenge group. It's going to start on April 15th. Which that was the day that we were already planning on starting, because I was going to be back in town from Texas. So I reached out to her And I was like, it's just weird that you're going to start this date, whatever. What do I need to do to get added into the challenge group? So she talked to me about Shakeology. I kind of already mentioned it to Erin. So I ended up just signing up. And I got the Shakeology. And then the next day, Leslie saw a post that I had made where I was doing a weight loss challenge group with some of my mom friends. And so she was like, hey, have you ever thought about coaching? I think you'd be a really great coach. And I was like, well, what do I have to do for that? And she was like, oh, it's like $15.95 a month. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, sign me up. So I signed up. And then, my husband got down here. We were having a birthday party for my son. And I remember a post that Leslie talked about where she said, it's like one of those basically call it to action posts for her next training group. And I was like, you could make $250 to $500 a month if you follow the steps that I take or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I remember reading that to Erin and being like, oh my gosh, I am going to make $250 to $500 a month doing this group. And he was like, sure, whatever. Okay. If you could just make $100 a month, that'd be great. So as soon as we got back home, we started Insanity. I jumped into the training group, and I don't know what it was that like made me feel like this was like a real job immediately. But I did, Leslie said, make sure that you check in, otherwise you're going to get kicked out. And I was like, oh shoot, I don't want to be kicked out. So I would wake up every morning, first thing in the morning, I would fix my kids breakfast, and I would sit on the floor in my bathroom and do whatever post that I needed to do that day, because I was told that I had to get this done. So I did it. And so flash forward, Raina went Emerald, and then I wanted Emerald. So then I pushed myself even harder, and I got Emerald in like month 2, basically, of being a coach. And I also got Success Club that first month. So the very first month in April, I did not hit Success Club. I only had 2 Success Club points. But then I told Leslie at the end of that month that I was going to get Success Club if it killed me. She was like, it's not going to kill you, but okay, whatever. So I did. I hit Success Club 7, and then I hit Success Club 12, and then T25 came out, and I had Insanity results. And so I ended up hitting Success Club 36 in July of that month. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, because you guys know, you've seen me, I was much bigger back then, but I'm still working on my fitness goals, and I still have mess ups, and I still, whatever. I don't have some super hot bod. I'm not a bikini competitor. I'm not, I struggle and everything else. And so a lot of people, I think that they think when they get into this business that they have to have this super hot body, and that's their customers. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case, because I have hit my goals every single month without fail after my first month, because of just the following tips. I guess I'm going to give you these 5 tips that I was being honest with your journey. And I think one of the big things that stood out to me when we first got started was listening to Raina's story on a call. I had to listen to the recording, and Erin and I were both already in bed, and I put it on speakerphone, and I was just bawling my eyes out listening to this call. And I was like, this is what I need to be open and just do this and put everything out there and everything else. So I did. So shortly after that, I think I posted a picture of me working out or something like that. And I talked about what I had struggled with. I am a serial eater out of control. Pretty much. I at one point would go and get 2 hamburgers and 2 large fries and eat all of them, force myself to eat it while I watch television, just as almost like a punishment. And I don't even know where that came from, because everything else in my life was pretty good. So, I just shared that story with people, and like, lo and behold, other people have some food. And so it was a really great, like oh my gosh, like a relationship that I was able to build with all of these people that have also had these struggles. So being open and honest had so many more people come to me and ask me like, well, how did you stop it? And what did you do? And this and that. And then that was my opening to talk about how I followed the insanity meal plan and how I helped with. My second tip for you, and this kind of goes along with the first, is just being yourself. And this also is how I get a lot of people. A lot of people talk about groups, adding yourself to different groups that you are interested in. So I actually went through and I added myself to a whole bunch of different groups, none of them related to fitness, just like stuff that I liked, like cloth diapering at the time, and then different things like that. And I'm just unapologetically myself. Like I usually in regular, company, like cuss like a sailor. So in this group, I cuss like a sailor, and I tell it like it is, and I talk, and if set up organically where I'm able to talk about what I do, then I do. And honestly, like right now, I'm getting so many people that have watched my story in the group or have watched and like become friends with me and are joining my team now from that. So that's been a really great aspect as well, like just being myself and going from there. So then number 3 would be making sure to share that I'm still being a product of the product. So even if you're having a rough week or a rough month or a rough life, still share that you are doing what you need to be doing. Talk about how important it is. And I usually always say stuff like, 2 years ago, I would have been like this. And then today I'm like this because I'm doing this, this, and this. I always try to have like a sweaty selfie or a Shakeology post or some kind of a personal development post with like Shakeology in the background, something like that, just like showing that I'm still doing it. And I kind of attribute this to before I became a coach, I would watch other companies, like right where I am, Advocare is super popular. Everybody wants to do the 24-day challenge and like this and that, whatever. But I always would see people posting that they were going to be doing the 24-day challenge, and they're all gung-ho and who's going to join me in this challenge, this and that, whatever. And then 24 days later, maybe they have results. Maybe they don't even finish the thing, so they don't post any results. Or maybe they do have results. But then 3 months down the road, they have to do another 24-day challenge because they've gotten off track and whatever. And then maybe 2 months down the road, they got to get another 24-day challenge because they just didn't, whatever. And so I have struggles too, and I definitely have fallen off track. I mean, like when we moved from Texas back to Texas, like, good Lord, I was like, give me all the food. I'm so stressed out. But I just talked about that, and I talked about how like normally this would have off-railed me for months on end, but now I'm like back on track and I'm going to be doing well and whatever. So I continue to show that like I'm still doing what I say that I'm supposed to be doing so that other people know that it's not just a scheme to get money out of them. Like they actually trust me. And I don't know how many people told me things like, oh my gosh, I've actually never seen anybody complete insanity. So that was like a huge motivator for me when you posted your insanity results. I had to do that too. And then again, I kind of got sidetracked on that whole group thing because that was what I was going to talk about for part 4. So sorry. If you find new friends in the groups that you're in based on the things that you love, then you're never going to run out of people to talk to. Like it's one thing to add people from your high school, and that's cool and all. And it's one thing to add people from your high school that didn't graduate with you and whatever. But it's a totally different thing when you actually like focus in on things that you truly do love to do, and you actually have that that connection with those people. So you're able to really relate to them one-on-one versus like if I had someone that I went to high school with, like, sure, okay, maybe they'll see some of my posts and whatever. But if I'm making new friends in a group where we all like planners or we all like Harry Potter, then we have that connection already, and it's much easier, I feel like, to talk to those people. Help with my success is that I started reading personal development. I don't think that I read personal development for my entire first year as a coach. And just because I am a reader, I'm like a huge reader, but I want to read stuff that I want to read. And so I would start a book and then I would stop and then I would start again and I would stop. And it got to the point where like I had really set myself back, I feel like. So I would only get Success Club 10 because that was my goal. And then I just wouldn't talk to anybody else. And it was this like little thing in my head that was telling me that like eventually you're going to run out of people to talk to. And that would be from my friends, my in-laws, even my husband, you know, like, well, how are you supposed to continue this? You're eventually going to have to run out of people to talk to. And so I finally chatted with Anita on the cruise, and she was like, because I was talking about like, oh, I just feel like I never have time to do anything. I want to do the Instagram training. And she was like, well, use that as your personal development time. Just take out the book and do that. And I was like, oh, I'm not really doing any personal development either. And she was like, okay, well, that is your big hang up, your big issue here. You have to start doing personal development. And so I did. I started working towards personal development, and I stopped letting like Success Club 10 be the end all be all. That was the minimum and everything else. And it was just all because I let go of those fears that I wasn't going to hit something or I wasn't going to make this goal because I was going to run out of somebody to talk to. And I just made it to where I refused to do that because I was going to continue to talk to 1 million people a day. And then on top of that, like, I don't know if you guys have all been able to see Sarah Try's video or webinar that she did. I think she did a call with you, Raina. And then she also did a call. The one I saw was through TPL. But that was like probably my biggest like aha moment this year because I had a goal of being at like $2,000 plus a week by July. And so when I was looking at all of her information about that, I noticed that I was not talking to enough people to have that goal. So I like completely restructured how I did my to-do list and everything else. And I have set, like, I write down like little like numbers. So if I'm supposed to follow up with 40 people this week, then I have like 1 through 40 written down on a sheet of paper, and I have to write their name down. That means that if I only want to work 5 days this week, I have to follow up with 8 different people in a day so that I can have that time or whatever. So that's like really restructured everything for me. And it's made it to where I'm not like spending all my time making these relationships in the groups, which are great and it's paying off now, but actually getting to work. And so, yeah, I definitely suggest that. So to recap, because I feel like I kind of was all over the place here and I'm sorry. But yeah, don't let like your hangups or your mess ups or the fact that you still weigh 200 pounds or that you've gained weight over the last month or that you are emotional or whatever the case is, don't let that hinder your progress because people love seeing that journey. I mean, I am so inspired by that kind of stuff. There was actually this video going around with this woman who was a pretty heavy woman, and she was like doing like chest presses and then like would jump down into a burpee and do it's like going around. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is so inspiring. This is amazing. You know, da 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 da. That's inspiring. Show people that. When I do videos of me doing Insanity Max 30, you don't know how many people are like, oh, that's incredible. I don't think I could even do that. Look at your arm strength, blah, 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 blah. You know, they love that. inspires them, that makes them want to keep going. And at that point, I don't know how many people just like messaged me out of nowhere that said that they wanted to join my team because they were inspired by me and my goals. I actually had this one coach on my team now. She was a freelancer for a few different Beachbody coaches. And apparently the Beachbody coaches had given her a list of names and was pretty much like, go to their pages, see what they're doing, make me some graphics that go along with that, and then give those to me so that I can post them. And so this girl ended up across my page and she saw me doing my videos and me doing my posts, and she reached out to me and she was like, hey, so I kind of been doing this freelancing stuff and whatever, but I actually really am inspired by you and I would love to work with you, you know, and so it has nothing to do with like what size you are. It's just that you have to have a story to share and you have to get out there and actually share it, and don't be afraid to put it out there, because I'll tell you, if you're hiding because you're still overweight or you're still not where you want to be, you're not hiding from anybody else. They all see it. They all know how big you are. They do. So get out there and talk about it and make it a point of your story so that they will want to be inspired even more by you and join you. And I guess that's really all I have. That was a pretty short call.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. We usually keep it at 30 minutes anyway, so you're good. No, I think that the biggest thing that you said was, you know, that we don't have to be perfect. And we all get objections like that. Like people saying, you know what, I don't know if I'm ready to coach. I'd like to do a couple rounds of this workout and then coach and things like that. And I'm the first to be like, no, you don't have to be perfect to be a coach. You just have to be willing to share what you're doing. And I think that's the most important thing, though. And I can say from watching your journey, you have made a huge physical transformation, but it's been a big mental transformation, I think, too, which is awesome, which is even more exciting. All right, let me see if we have any questions here really fast. I just started my first challenge group event, and I'm super nervous. I'm sure everyone gets their challenge packs correctly. I'm almost trying to get the word out on Instagram, and I'm not sure how to get in that direction. Don't really know what you're asking. If you're on read that, I guess you need to know exactly what you're wanting information on. Or maybe check with your upline. Let me see really fast if we have anything else. Okay. Yeah, and I know a lot of people will listen to the recording later on. We changed our time to during the day, so I don't have to do it at night anymore.
I was wondering how that goes. I know that you and Anita both do that. I don't know. Maybe that's something I should work towards at some point.
Freeze up another evening, I guess. So yeah. All right. Well, I will let you go. We don't have any other questions or anything yet. If that girl puts lets me know where her question is, I might message you if you have an input or something like that.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I'm not on mute now. Brett's talking on the phone while I'm Okay, I'll let you go. Have a good day, guys.
Bye, you too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yes.